I've watched you guys in the game, Josh, and I've tried to encompass what I feel from the outside watching you. When I see the efforts going in and what you're trying to do, I've tried to encompass it in this video, and it's something that I've merged with what I believe in how the game can be played. So some of the guys I've coached before will feel some of this as a previous presentation, but it's trying to tie in what you guys are doing, JJ. It's not about rebuilding. It's about just continuing to find margins where you can make this style come alive. So first question out there.
The gardens have grown. I think they're much greener than when I was here 8 years ago, but no, I think it still holds the same values. It's producing, obviously, from coaches from the inside, from the academy coming forward and into senior roles, Hoops stepping up from a player into the director of rugby role, Hats returning, so there's a lot of things previously in the 8 years that you're returning back to, and obviously seeing the evolution of players who, I think someone like 𝘼𝙩𝙩𝙖𝙘𝙠, Miles Reed, under 13, Somerset players now established members of the first team, so excited to be back. How I changed the coach would be, I've really been clear around by pulling little bits from each people. I like that. Maybe I would do that differently. You've got a real rounded view of how you view the game and how it can be played. And I think that's the clarity that when you're presenting in meetings or reviewing a game a session or planning training sessions, you know that this is the outcome we want to achieve. So I think coming back 8 years of traveling around the world and working with some great coaches and stealing ideas from people, I think I've got a real sound understanding of how I would view the game, and hopefully unifying it with how Bath views the game and the other coaches to create a great product the guys can see.
If I had to summarize people's styles, I'm a people watcher. Not through the curtains and watching people, but I'm a people watcher. Danny, I've known you for years. The only man I know who can start a fight with his own shadow. And you are. Danny, you've got a style that people crave, that we can build on. I watch here, JJ is an observer in the background, but funny and sharp, and if you're not switched on, you'll miss certain things that he said. It's JJ. So everyone's got a style, and it's about merging that style into something that we can believe in. So,
the attitude of Dave is infectious. He's so enthusiastic and he really does know his rugby from top to bottom. There's so much talent within the squad to work with. There's a lot of one-on-one talent, people to get the ball in hand and go and make a lot of runs and beat people. You've got, whether it be in the forwards or the backs. We've got a lot of ball handling forwards, which is a great sign because it means that we can get the ball through their hands into the backs and move it onto an edge. Because I think it's important that we try and release our backs as best as we can this season.
We definitely got some of the best players in the world at this club, and I think having those three in particular is class because they're not only just highly skilled, they're highly experienced. So when you're on the pitch, like I know I can go to JJ or Ant and Sips now and ask them anything, and they know what to do really. It's not just like theory based. Like he's out there, he knows them by the back of his hand. So he's out there showing us the moves, and then if we make a mistake in training or something like that, he knows it like already. He can come and help us out.
I think from the history of the club, what the academy has been trying to produce, watching how Somerset, the schools of rugby and Dorset and Wilts work with their boys and what they focus on as a skill set, it's all conducive to playing a certain style of rugby, which hopefully we're going to see continue to flourish this season and build on what's gone before. It's a style you're trying to play, but it's understanding from all the moments of the game how to get back to that style. If you want to be a transition into an attack organisation team, a scrum defence, when we've lost the ball, is as important in our moment to get us back to our style. A defensive team side of the game is so important to create transitions or for teams to kick us the ball to launch the 𝘼𝙩𝙩𝙖𝙘𝙠 and the guys on a kick counter long. If you can get the players to understand in any moment of the game, how do we get back to the style of rugby that Bath want to see? Even though we could be defending at that time, which maybe people don't want to see as much, but we know that we can get back to our style from defending well. And if we can finish the game getting as many style moments as possible within the game, from our scrum defence, from our defence, from our kicking game, from our attack as well. And it's not just the attack. I think if you just focus on that, you lose all the other moments that lead back to that. So it's trying to make that cyclical nature and understanding amongst the playing group and staff.
People have got to the point where they try and attack at all different points on the field. Different areas, it's not so predictable. There's lots of change. You know, you see there's different types of attack. They all commit to their one shape and what they do, and they do it well. And that's what we're trying to understand and get to, which we are getting to that point. And I think Dave's great at leading that. And as best I can, driving that with the rest of the squad, making sure that we can have Bath's identity of how we attack our style. I think it's important to have an all-court game where you've got forwards and backs making sure they stay connected and everyone's working as one, whether that be people being connected out the back of lines or people being connected in the front line, whatever it might be, but understanding at any point we can attack at any point on the field and making sure that we can get the ball there sufficiently. Rugby's changed a lot in the last sort of 4 or 5 years, which means everyone is a big role to play in attack and it's not separated in any sense.
This for me, JJ, I was out of my seat in South Africa watching this. Again, having affinity, having worked here before, but it could have been Gloucester versus Montpellier. If I see people do this, I feel something. I'm going, oh my word. And there's a lot of things before this. It was a line-out defense, then phase defense, and then into a transition moment, turnover, and a chance to finish. This is the extreme. Because JJ, what, in terms of the scoreboard and timing the game, what might have been the decision to do?
Kick out.
Kick out. But this showed me something beyond that. It showed me a group now that have an unbelievable belief in something that they can do. And entertaining people. Just watch this now. The strip from Josh McAnally.
Ball ripped away by Josh McNally. Brilliantly done. Mercer into the hands of Bayliss, who checks his run. And Bayliss has away. And Bayliss has gas to spare. And he will score the fourth try for Bath to seal the win. Agony for...
Okay. How does it feel?
Excited as to where this team can go, like moments like that, and we have moments throughout like the whole season of like things like that, and just the more and more we can get it, the better we're going to be, and it ties into what Dad said about being brave. And
Rory, is there things that a lot of things that have gone on before that? Is there things that a lot of things that have gone on before that in the game to get to that moment? Has the scrum held a great scrum and forced them to play off that maybe forces a turnover? Has the lineup defended well? Are there lots of moments that go before that?
We could have, in defence there, been happy to be passive and almost hope they make a mistake, but we've gone out and, again, been brave to get the ball back.
Beautiful, beautiful.
We're really focused on our style at Bath now. So we said, regardless of the scoreboard, if we find a style that works, we can come to each game week in, week out with, the results will come. And I'm hoping that, especially with how we look in training, the results should be there from the get-go. Of my 5 weeks off, I was in here most weeks, speaking with David, just going through what we're looking for next season, just trying to plant a seed, just so when we do get to that first game, although it's been a short pre-season, like, we're ready from the jump. We're ready to play.
I've always got a view, if you play 2 games of the weekend, the scoreboard game and the performance game, or the style game, and yes, sometimes we'll win or lose the scoreboard game, but a non-negotiable for this this team must be we win the style game. We must deliver a style that we believe in that can win in rugby games. And I think if you've got that mindset, then you start to win by design. The results that maybe went against you, but the style was there, suddenly now the style allows you to get results, and that's what the growth of a team is.